This is how important history is. Okay, listen, because what I'm about to say in this video is very important, right? Now, history is important in our lives. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. A lot of people don't appreciate the importance of history. When I see comments like this, or okay, these ones that are appearing on my screen, when I see comments like this, I understand that there are some people who don't understand the importance of history. Now, in content creation, for example, let me just use a simple analysis to illustrate my point. Now, in content creation, there is what Facebook, for example, Facebook calls an insight. What is it really? An insight, that insight that you see on your profile, that insight that you see on your page is just your history. The history of the post, the history of the pictures, the history of the photos, the history of the text that you put on your page. Facebook has looked into what you have posted in the past. They now know where you are in your present situation, and they are giving you suggestions of what you are going to do in the near future so that your page can continue growing. That's exactly what the Facebook Insight on social media is. And what is it really? That is your history, the history of your page. Without that history, Facebook cannot know where you are currently. Without that history on your page, Facebook will not know what to suggest to you that you can use to improve on your content in your future. That's exactly what it is. Now, in education, for example, let me use Nigeria as an example. If you are writing JAMB, okay, you want to write JAMB in 2027 and you start preparing in 2026, for example. Now, you are going to you are going to read textbooks, you are going to read a lot of stuff depending on the subjects you are offering. And then one thing stands out. That thing that stands out is that you are going to get past questions of the previous years, maybe 5 years backwards, 7 years backwards, 3 years backwards. Getting past questions that has been set by JAMB, that has been written by JAMB in the previous years, will help you to understand how JAMB questions look like. It will help you understand the likely questions you are going to meet in next year's JAMB exams. What are you doing really? You are bringing the history of JAMB, like the past questions of JAMB in the previous years. That is history. You are getting the history of JAMB. You are studying the history of JAMB questions, so that you can be able to prepare in your present time, so that you can be able to write the future exam that is about to come. That's exactly how important history is in education. Now, bringing that in our everyday life. If you understand your past, you will know exactly where you are in your present. You can be able to prepare for your future. That is how important history is. Let me repeat this again, trying to rephrase it in another form. A knowledge about your past, a knowledge about your history will help you to understand where you are currently in your present situation. Still, that knowledge of your history, still that knowledge of your past will also help you to plan your future. So that's how important history is. Anybody who doesn't know the history of their land, the history of their people, the history of what you're about to do, I don't know what to make of you. Even if you're trying to buy a land, you must get the history of everybody that owns that land until it gets to you. Landowners who already knows this. Even if you are trying to buy a car, you must have the history of everybody that has owned that car before it got to you. That's just how things are. That is how important history is. So some people, they don't understand the value of history. And again, you don't even know that in those days, maybe something that happened 30 years ago, right? Or 40 years ago. 40 years ago was the present. It was the present of some people. And they are looking at 2026 as the future. Now we are in 2026. It is your present. And 40 years ago has become your history, your past. Now we are looking at 2040, for example. Someday, whether you like it or not, someday we are going to get to 2040. And 2040, that is the future now, will become the present when we get there. And 2026, that is your present now, becomes the past, becomes your history. So don't see it as if you come to my page, I'm always talking about something that happened 20 years ago. That's it. That is me. That is what I do on my page. The name of my page says everything about my page. Don't expect to see trending news. Don't expect to see current news, because some people send me DMs and they will be like, things are happening in the country and you are talking about what happened 20 years ago. How is it going to help us? How it is going to help is that you need to understand where your problems started first. You need to understand why the present is the way it is now. Having this knowledge will help you to reshape your future. If only you can accept your present situation of where you are, then you begin to redraw plans on how to change your present so that your future will be better than it is today. That's just it. That's just the way it is. This famous politician said something that I'm going to quote here now. And what he said is this. He said that the success you have today is as a result of the plans you put in place yesterday. The success you will have tomorrow is as a result of the plans you will put in place today. So that is how important history is. I will leave you to this. If you have watched this video up to this moment, hit on the like button, share this video so that other people will learn, and drop your comment on the comment section. I want to know what you think about history. Okay? I'll see you in my next video. Know your history.